much like to be called a fucking. The knowledge I gotta teach people is so beyond comprehension. Nigger? And we need. This is a quick history lesson of white people were slaves first. And then I'll get into why that matters. Break a room down. Trigger. I love you. Yeet!
What'd you say?
Continue the show. At the 1 hour mark, you get Henry.
Huh?
At the 1 hour mark, you get Henry.
Oh, 1 hour of you being on there?
Alright. It's time to prove to these people why white people were slaves first. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about, now you gotta remember, it's impossible to call me racist because I'm half black, half white. You'd have to be an idiot to call me a racist. I'm a hybrid. White people, you ever see a white person just walk around, right? Nothing better than lime water, dude. You know, I got all over the goddamn place. Just in case you didn't know that. I love you. We're happy. It got all over my foot. It's cold. Okay, white people walk around entitled because they were slaves first. That's where you get that's where the white people get their audacity. We gotta look at the word audacity. What does that mean? It's really just the nerve of them. No one asked, why does a white person walk around so arrogant? I'm not a racist. I'm not Uncle Ruckus. I'm not for violence or hatred. But you've got to admit, how can the way white people walk around is beyond arrogant. To be inferior, though. They were slaves first. When you research it, black people had white slaves. Look up Yaqub. I love you, you love me. We're Yakub. There was a big-headed scientist back in the day named Yaqub, or it's Jacob in the Bible. He invented white people. Back in the day, black people, whenever the universe started, there were no white people. It was all black. And we started off peaceful. We never murdered nobody. We never raped nobody. We never was jealous. We was high vibrational. Until one day we wasn't. We started to become low vibrational. We drifted from God. We drifted from ourselves. We started to worship other things besides ourselves. And there was an evil scientist named Yaqub. It's Jacob in the Bible. And he genetically engineered white people. He took the albino blacks. He got a bunch of followers. He brainwashed a bunch of people. Took them to an island, all black people. He took the albino babies and breeded them for 300 years. He taught his sons how to do it, brainwashed his sons, all the above. It was either 300 or 600 years or so. I forgot how many years. It was one of those two, either 300 or 600. And then white people were created. I'm not saying white people are weak. Have you watched Dragon Ball Z? What color is Goku? Hey, white people are strong. White people are powerful. I'm not saying white people are weak. We're talking generally. I want you guys to imagine the most ridiculously evil thing you can think of. So whenever Yaqub invented white people, they tried to come to the black people's land. And we let them in, and we basically bullied them. Whenever you learn about slavery and how they used to hang blacks from trees and Jim Crow laws and slavery and cotton picking and all that, right? The way that blacks used to do whites was beyond worse. We used to torture the fuck out of white people. Why do you think black people had to go through slavery in America? Why do you think black people go through slavery now? It's not just because. It's called karma. Your ancestors bullied the fuck out of you. Bullied the fuck out of white people. If you've ever been to the hood, a black hood, if you've ever been to the hood, you will understand how a white person would get bullied. Somebody would say, oh no, I'm not getting beat up by a white boy. Ain't no way. That's basically hinting towards, I'm not going to get beat up by someone inferior. Think about what that's insinuating. I ain't about to get beat up by no fucking white boy, no cracker. You ever heard somebody say that in the hood? What do you mean you can't get beat up by no white boy? That you're basically insinuating I can't get beat up by no inferior race person. Cause why else would you say it? Think about it. Think. I'm lucky enough to be half. I love you. You love me. Look, man. And I gotta say shout out to my friend. He FaceTimed me a couple whatchalls ago, and basically, I think I was just commenting on the audacity of white people, something like how I was talking about how, no, I asked my friend if he thought that George Washington was racist. I asked him. I forgot why I was talking about money or why I was talking about that, but I asked my friend on FaceTime, one of my best friends. I asked him. I was like, do you think George Washington was racist? I was looking at a $1 bill. There's a white man on this $1 bill and I'm about to spin for Rellos. Do you think this dude was racist? Lime water, black coffee. Has everything got a goddamn spill, dude? Yes, keep dripping, baby. Isn't it amazing? You never thought about that. White people were slaves first. Think of the worst, most humiliating torture you can think of. We did it to them 10 times worse. You might be thinking, how the fuck do you know that? How do you know white people were slaves first? Where'd you get that information from? Before I answer that question, I know it's rude to answer a question with a question, but I have to ask you this before I answer this. Where did you get your information? Do you believe that white people were never slaves? I don't know about where you're from. It may be different, and I might be tripping, but I'm from Kentucky. I'm from Harrisburg, Kentucky. So they taught us about, I gotta change the setting, oh my gosh. They taught us that they didn't say nothing about no other slaves. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to history class, because I will admit, high school I wasn't paying no attention. But sometimes I was. I can't remember if they taught us about Indians being slaves, like Arabs. I can't remember, but I don't have any recollection of anything talked about no slave besides no black people. And I just have to ask you, why don't they teach in the history books that white people were slaves first? They were the first group of slaves in the entire world. Someone please, quick. Do they want to erase their barbaric past and make themselves seem superior? Like, oh, we're just a superior race. We enslaved blacks. We enslaved everyone else. We've never been slaves. The white man's never been a slave. He was the first slave. Oh yeah. I'm fried. I've got to get back to my story with my friend. And I asked him, I was like, you think George Washington's a racist? And he was like, and he thought about it. He sat there and thought about it. And then he said, hey, you know white people were slaves first. So I don't know. Is it really racist? Because you see, the people watching this are broke Peckerwood crackers. You're not a George Washington ranked Freemason. George Washington wasn't no just dusty white boy. He was more than a dusty white boy. He was a Freemason with extremely deep knowledge. You watching this, you think you're a white person. You ain't, bro. You're not Goku yet. George Washington is Goku. He's a Freemason. He can tap into. You're just a dusty Peckerwood. You think you're something. So I'm telling you, this ain't no regular white man. This is George Washington. First president, $1 bill. And I asked my friend, I said, do you think he was a racist? They say he owned slaves, so it's really a dumb question, but I just asked him, like, do you think he's a racist? And my friend thought about it for a minute, and then he said, I don't know, bro, white people were slaves first. And it clicked. White people aren't racist. White people were engineered in a lab by a man named Yakub. They were engineered to be payback type of people. Disclaimer, because I know a lot of people watching this, they get emotional. Listen, Dragon Ball Z, Goku, white people are amazing. Y'all can tap into some ridiculous shit. White people can tap into Goku power. What color? Goku had a tail. That's white people shit. And even Goku, look what he tapped into. But they can't. There wasn't no way they was gonna make Goku black. They weren't gonna give you the real who you really was. They weren't gonna give you like the who you. They weren't gonna make Goku black. That'd be too powerful. But we were so powerful, you can't even put it on a fucking Netflix show. You can't put it on Crunchyroll. Shit you can't even comprehend. And I was just very baffled after he told me that. He said, hey man, I mean, I don't know, whites were slaves first. It blew my mind. I couldn't talk for like 5 minutes. I was like, damn. And that stuck on my mind for a couple of days, probably about a week straight. I was just thinking all day for 7 days straight. Whites were slaves first. And then I made a song called Nathan Hale. Whitest motherfucker you can. That's probably the whitest white man ever. That's a white man. A white boy. But I shall say, yes. It blew my. I was flabbergasted for a week straight. Seriously. I made a song called Nathan Hill. It made me respect white people more. Now, I'm not saying white people are allowed to just have a chip on their shoulder and just hate everybody. I'm not going to allow evil on my planet. Our planet. I'm not going to allow evil on there. They don't give you no free pass to be racist. But I understand why white people feel a certain type of way. One answer. One, these are your low. Okay, there's two different kinds of racist. Let me break down the two different kinds of racist white men. You have your poor Peckerwood racists. These are the low IQ, low level demonic. These are like level 3 demons. It's low IQ, piss poor education, stupid hillbilly, niggers and beaners. These are your rednecks that live in the fucking projects, and they're worse than black people. Then you have your upper class, uppity racist white people. Now, these white people understand that black people are God. That's why they're racist. The lower white people know that black people are God, but their IQ is so low, they're not even conscious. They're genuinely. I'm from Harrisburg, Kentucky. These people are barely sentient. I'm telling you, they're like robots. I don't know. You think George Washington was just some regular white boy, dude? Really? Oh yeah, George Washington was just some regular white boy who just happened to regular guy. Blew my mind for a week. A week straight blew my mind. I tell you what. Now, I see someone said I'm confused. I know you're confused. This is hell. I didn't learn that whites were slaves first until recently. Even I'm telling you, bro. The age of Aquarius, people waking up, more and more knowledge. I will go ahead and goddamn tell you this. Listen right here. Watch this. Why you trying to be smart? Watch this. Black people made white people in a lab. The white man's oldest history comes from a petri dish. The black person's oldest history comes from creating the multiverse and the stars and the planets and the dimensions and the life force. And you're expecting white people to not be racist. You're a fucking retard. You don't study nothing. You think the history books are true. Dude, are you really gonna sit there and fucking believe these goddamn history books? You're gonna really sit there and just like a good little boy and sit there and read, this is true. Okay, this is true. So the people who own the education, imagine how powerful that is. That's not just a walking. Imagine you own what children are being taught. You own it. You don't think these people are evil? You think they're just telling us the truth from the bottom of their fucking heart? Because they care about us. Huh? They wouldn't lie in history books, would they? I'll tell you what. Unfortunately, you are wrong, buddy. I'll drink this water in no time, so I'll use the cap. Excellent. It's annoying because I can't use my full energy. The risk reward. Another download I'll tell you. This is a download I get off. I need to get out of the habit of scrolling. But scrolling does teach me something. I don't know if they're bots. I don't know if they're bots or real people. I think they're real people because I've met a lot of racist people. You know them, those they all have the same beliefs. You know those people. Look. See, my brain's thinking of 9 different things to say. There's 9 different topics. There's so many topics that stem from this. It's truly mind-blowing. Just hold it for a minute. Your people on X, Twitter, and Instagram so there's 2 things that annoy me. So I guess I'm admitting, yes, it is sparking an emotion out of me, which is why I need to stop scrolling. If I never scrolled upon the video that I'm about to talk about, I would have never felt that emotion. Kind of like when you wake up, and you flick on the news, 3-year-old baby was kidnapped. Like, damn, did I really want to? Now I'm in a bad mood. Now I'm thinking like, do you want that vibration the very first thing you wake up? The news, social media. I'm not sure if these people are bots, but I seen a video of like, it was a black kid in the mall, walked up to this white dude and asked him like, can I play your guitar? And the white dude was like, nah. And the black kid, I didn't even watch the video. I knew what it was. Black kid gets mad, probably hits him or smarts off, whatever. I could sit here and say, you're going to ignore all the millions of black kids that are doing great things, that never robbed or hurt anyone. Racist people. I seen a tweet from Measure Tate that said something like, if you're going to be racist, be a high IQ racist. Like, you're a fucking peckerwood. You're a white boy. You're a nobody. No one cares if you're racist. You don't reproduce. You're going extinct. Shoot. Why are you speaking? You're not even you want to be erased from history. The white man's history comes from a petri dish. That's his deepest roots, is a petri dish. But of course these people are so, I mean, are they even people? Are they real? Even if you go out in person and see, okay, yeah, this person's racist. Are they though? Is that a real person? Is that a cyber? Is that a robot? What's even real? Are the viewers watching this real? Once I die, did this life exist? What if I forget about this life? What if? Two things that annoy me. One, okay, we're gonna ignore all the genius black kids, all the professional black kids, okay, true. I'm already 2 steps ahead of everyone. The second I say this, I already know your immediate response. White people are number 1 in every single crime category. Child rape, murder, food stamps. I'm not saying food stamps are crime, I'm just saying food stamps, government housing, robberies, stealing. They're all number 1, every category. Oh, there's more white people than black people. Don't deflect. You're number 1. You comment on us stealing from stores. You're number 1 for stealing from stores. The people who control your algorithms only show you the black people, the niggers who steal from stores, and the angry black kids who act stupid. They only show you that to spark a negative emotion from you. They want you to hate black people. And then, when black people read the comments and it's nothing but racist white people, that makes black people hate the whites. So now, blacks and whites are arguing on Twitter. So we're using our energy arguing with each other instead of actually fighting the people that rape children, the elites. You get it? You get it? Obviously, every race has their bad apples. Why are we going to sit here and only talk about blacks? Why? Why? When white people are number 1 in every negative crime category. Why can't we all just admit that every race has their fucking dumbasses? That's really what me and my friends call them. We just call them dumbasses. We don't use the word crackers. We don't use the word niggers. Well, we do say it a lot. Nigger. Which is funny. I'm half black, half white. But yeah, I'm fried. Forgot I was going with that. But why can't we just admit that every race has their bad apples? I mean, you know what? Look, you have to think deeply. Because I'll admit, I scroll. He said, hello, I'm white. Hello, I'm 50% white. But it's just weird to me how we focus on black crime. And then the black crime that happens don't affect white people. They say that we commit so and so commit or we commit 50-something% of the crime. Yeah, we make up 30% of the population. Bro, the crimes that are being committed, a lot of those crimes are in the hood, bro. It's not like they're going to the suburbs and doing this shit. I'm sure that exists, but most of these crimes are in the hood, away from white people. So it really doesn't even affect you. Ask the average racist white man. Just ask him. Has a black man ever robbed you, or beat you up, or made fun of you, or took your bitch, or has a black man or woman ever bothered you? Ask a racist white man that. And then if they say yeah, say this. Okay, that little incident that happened in high school and that black dude, okay, cool. So you're telling me white people haven't done more stuff to you? So look back in your life. White people didn't fuck you over more than black people? So just that one time that black dude did that to you, and you're gonna scratch the 25 white people that fucked you over. That one time those group of black dudes did something to you. Scratch the 50 times a white person fucked you over. You're picking and choosing. You're searching for a reason to be racist. And then that way, the blacks, like, whenever I scroll, I shouldn't scroll, but whenever I scroll and then I see, it's just the same thing. It's like, it gets old. It's like the same memes. It's like some black kid, some group of black teens that rob some store, or some black kid just acting crazy in front of white people, just being belligerent, being just crazy. Okay, we're gonna ignore all the millions of, they never show you the millions of black lawyers, professionals, they wear suits and ties, they don't, not every black person listens to fucking Sexy Red and does crazy shit. We all know this. I'm just confused on why it's focused on blacks. We just ignore that white people lead the crime categories. They're all number one. Everyone white, 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 white. I'm from Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Fuck your statistics. I see what I see outside these windows. I'm in the projects. I am in the hood of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. White people are the ones who act up around here. Guess who stole the bolts off my car? Actually, I'm not even gonna cap on camera. I don't know who stole the bolts off my car. I'm not even gonna cap. That could have been a black person. But I'm gonna say this. 90% of bullshit right here, white people. Fuck your statistics. I live in the projects. It's 90% white people doing bullshit. I see what I see. You're not gonna tell me blacks are animals and you're just a racist, man. You have hate in your heart. Fuck your statistics, bro. Outside these windows, I'm from Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Mostly white town. I'm in the projects. Yes, there's black people back here. Yes, there's a lot of black people that act up. But it's mostly white people that act up, bro. I see it every day. You're not gonna tell me that white people are just the superior race and blacks are just animals who need to be deported. You're a fucking stone cold hatred racist. And you know what? I like racist people. I like the ones who are kinda racist. Like, they got their jokes. But the ones who really believe that black people should get deported because we're just animals and we're just so bad and we commit all these crimes, you're either just a hatred, stone cold racist, or you're brainwashed, or both. But white people were programmed to be like that. So it's kind of weird for me to get mad at it. If I walk into a field and there's a sign that says beware snakes, and then I walk through the field and get bit by a snake, can I blame the snake? No. So if Yakub invented white people to literally be violent, and can you be mad at them for being racist? They were engineered to be that.
Or that,
White people really just got their payback. Because black people had white slaves first. They were worse than slaves. They were just torture animals for us. Because you know how niggas be. And that's what my friend said whenever I FaceTime. Right? FaceTime. He was like, you know how, that's exactly what he said. You know how niggas be. We was doing some ridiculous torture, ridiculous, like, shit that you don't even think of. Unthinkable shit. You know, that's really, I mean, look at how they treat white boys in jail. But, like, you gotta admit, now, I've only been to jail once, and it was for a day. So I can't really speak on it. But I'm pretty sure if you go to jail or prison, and there's 20 black dudes and one white dude, chances are he might get bullied a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to ridiculously abuse him or anything, but he's definitely going to at least get some type of bullying, probably. So it's like, can you really blame a white man for being racist? People, a lot of black people on Instagram, they'll say, it's in their blood. It's in a white man's blood to be evil. It's deeper than that. It's in a white man's soul. But does he even have a soul? If he was made in a petri dish, but the petri dish comes from black people. So I think they have a soul that's just like an artificial soul type shit, like BBL soul, a BBL soul. I mean, I've got a white person I work with every day. Ride with them every day. Turned on me. Not all the way, but he's sneak dissing me. Because I wouldn't tell him how much I made working. I know it sounds dumb. I'm not a liar. I'm high vibration. I will say this. I'm not going to sit here and explain anything. It's all love for this dude, but he's tripping. Basically, my papa owns a painting company, and I'm his grandson. He paid me some extra money without telling the dude I work with, which is 40, he's 40 something. Well, he found out and got mad. Like that was some bull. He like got mad. Like that's bullshit. Like, and really was sitting there today. Like I thought we was close friends, man. I thought. And I just thought, there's children being raped. There's obesity and poverty and evil all around the planet. I'm not gonna give this man any of my energy. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. But of course I didn't say that because he doesn't understand that answer. So I just was silent. Like, it was just a weird day at work. He was talking to himself, like venting, like sneak dissing. You know how white people do. He sneak dissing you in front of you, but don't really be all the way. They say shit to where it's like you can't say nothing because you know you're not. But they're talking about you like I tried my hardest to just bounce that off my vibration. I've got a mission. I've got a mission, dude. I don't. Come on, dude. Come on, really. I'm straight, bro. I'm straight. All because I didn't. Because he was like, he always asked me. He just knows. He always asks me like. He always asks me like, if you ever paid you know, like behind my back, would you ever tell me as a friend? And it's like, fam, this is my blood papa. Bro, mind your business. If he pays me some money, I don't gotta tell you. Every time I get paid, how much to pay this time? How much you paid? Why are you asking me how much he paid me? He's so scared to get like, bro. This man makes he makes big. Basically, my point is you have to balance people. Just show up and paint and work. Fuck everything else. He can sit there mad. He can sit there and talk to him. Hell, I'll bring headphones to the job. But then, what have I been talking about for the past 40-something minutes? If I'm a professional, I'm gonna dissect why he acts like that. Because whites were slaves first.